Dr. Patrick Brown and other researchers, including myself, just published a paper in Nature where we look at the impacts warmer temperatures have on the frequency of extreme wildfire days. For example, 6% of the risk on the campfire can be tied back to warmer temperatures and the drier fuels that you get with warmer temperatures, whereas 38% of the risk on the CZU Lightning Complex can be attributed to a warmer climate. We uncovered these results using machine learning. We trained the model on a number of fuel, weather, and topography variables so that it was able to predict whether you're going to have an extreme wildfire day or not. We then turned the dials on variables like temperature and fuel moisture using various climate scenarios and had the model create a new prediction for wildfire risk that we could compare against the old one. Some of the results were exactly as you'd expect. With more emissions, you have warmer temperatures. With warmer temperatures, you have drier fuels. And with drier fuels, you have more extreme wildfire days. But some of the results were quite surprising.
In some fires, changing that temperature makes almost no difference whatsoever in the risk of extreme wildfire growth, where in other fires, it can be as much as over a factor of 5 difference between pre-industrial and current temperatures.
The reason for this can be explained in a single word: thresholds. If your temperatures are cold and there's a lot of moisture in your fuels, if you turn up the temperature a little bit, it's not going to make a big difference because you're most likely not going to have an extreme wildfire either way. If your temperatures are extremely hot and your fuels are extremely dry, and you turn up the temperature and make your fuels even drier, that's also not going to make a big difference because the conditions are ripe for an extreme wildfire in both scenarios. For example, only 6% of the risk that we have on the car fire can be tied back to warmer temperatures, compared to the 26% we have on the North Complex. This difference can be explained looking at the fuel moisture charts for the car fire and the North Complex. On the car fire, we had extremely dry conditions every single day, whereas on the North Complex, we were hovering right around that threshold. So when you look at the risk attributable to the warmer climate, there's very little increase in risk on the car fire, but a very large increase in risk on the North Complex, depending on the day. Now, Dr. Patrick Brown is currently working on some research that also has some surprising and even encouraging results. Through fuel reduction practices like prescribed burning, we can drastically decrease our risk of extreme wildfire.
You could potentially not only offset, but completely negate the influence of climate change in certain locations so that we could potentially have a future with less fire danger despite climate change.
For KSBW Action News 8, I'm Holt Hanley.